Nigeria, a country with over 250 ethnic groups and 500 distinct languages, is commemorating 63 years of independence. The country gained independence from the United Kingdom on the 1st of October 1960. During the country's 63 years, it has experienced a civil war, series of military administrations, and democratically elected civilian governments. Despite these challenges, Nigeria has, like the furnace, continued to rise out of the ashes, remaining a regional power in Africa and an emerging power in international affairs. Key players are emphatic that at 63, the importance of reflecting on the country's journey so far and working towards a better future must be prioritized by all well-meaning Nigerians. Welcome to 30 Minutes on NTA News 24. This edition is focusing on Nigeria's 63 years of existence as an independent and sovereign nation. I'm Lydia Sampson. This report by Abdusalam Jibril is taking a holistic look at Nigeria's journey so far as the most populous country in Africa. What are the giant strides attained to date? The report will also x-ray how, despite its vast natural resources and potential, Nigeria has struggled to realize its full potential and position herself amongst the Committee of Nations. Over to you, Abdusalam.
Nigeria, we hail thee.
Nigeria's former national anthem there, used from independence in 1960 until the present anthem was adopted in 1978, replacing Nigeria, we hail thee. It has been over 6 decades of independence from British colonial rule for the most populous black nation and the world's 6th most populous country, according to the United Nations Population Fund. With about 250 ethnic groups speaking over 500 languages, Nigeria is often referred to as the giant of Africa and is considered to be an emerging market by the World Bank. Some experts have likened Nigeria's history to the life of a 63-year-old, which is fraught with achievements and challenges. Other analysts maintain that after over 6 decades of Nigeria's independence, the country has recorded great strides and achievements. The country's uninterrupted democratic governance from 1999 till date, among others, have been described as positives.
As you're aware, when Nigeria gained independence, we had to fight the colonialists. And the struggle of independence led to a new crop of politicians that had to take leadership. Nigeria's democratic experience has been very rich. It has helped to stabilize our country. It has also helped during the dark days when we had military coups for politicians to overthrow or to demand for a return to military rule. And so you find that Nigeria is by nature a democratic nation, and you cannot take that away from us. It will be very hard for this country to adopt any other form of government but that of democracy. Democracy has brought tremendous progress, sustainability, advancement to the lives of Nigerians and to this nation. I dread to think what Nigeria would have been had we not been are we not, if it were, God forbid, that we would ever turn away from democracy. I don't believe that will ever happen again in the history of Nigeria.
Yes, during the time of General Babangida, a lot of things happened. Even during the time of Abacha, a lot of things happened that were positive. The time of General Olusegun Obasanjo, there was a lot of positive. Then we now started declining. We were now corruption beamed. And obviously, that is why we now find ourselves in this position. I see, if you're not a patriot, your country cannot go far. And that is why now we have a patriotic president. Yes, everybody did to their own best capacity. I'm not doing the hate game. Most Nigerians want to play hate game.
The journey of Nigeria from independence to death is akin to a journey of life of a human being, which is normally punctuated with trials, travails, and tribulations. You know, the journey of life is not an invitation to a tea party. Neither it is a Don't Life elite ride. Definitely it's going to be punctuated with trials, travails, and tribulations. So the journey of Nigeria from independence to date is also characterized with the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, at least for now, compared to the ugly scenario that is happening in our neighboring countries of military adventurism into their body polity. At least in Nigeria, we have a stable and an enduring democracy that at least one can say has stood the test of time, to the extent that today I think I can tell you without any fear of contradiction that the Nigerian military, even in the wildest of their dreams, cannot think of usurping power through extra constitutional means. So that is a very good achievement.
Nigeria at independence, yes, we survived with agriculture mainly as the backbone of the economy, with the local production of food for local consumption, and then the export crops like cocoa, cotton for exports, which generated a lot of revenue for the country. And later in the 70s, oil was discovered, and so the generation of money in the country now increased. But however, we all know that um, we never seize the opportunity of our oil wealth to develop most of this infrastructure from the beginning. But later on, as government come in and out, and especially with the new civilian regime from 1999, efforts were made to develop the economy in the country. Focus were placed mainly on agriculture to make sure that we can feed ourselves and then export. And in the current dispensation, especially the Buhari regime now inherited by Tinubu regime, we have seen that a lot of effort have been made to ensure that we have food security.
Some experts, however, note that despite its vast natural resources and potential, Nigeria has struggled to achieve its potential and position herself amongst the Committee of Nations. They say this is due to the fact that the country has been plagued by a litany of problems, including corruption, ethnic and religious tensions, and economic instability.
First of all, we have to try and eradicate corruption. Let us institutionalize corruption that it stays in this country. That is the biggest problem that we have. And I know that the president, as I know him, as I call him daddy, he knows exactly where he's going and how he's going to handle the case. We have to be a little bit patient. Yes, subsidy was a scam in Nigeria, and he was bold enough to remove subsidy. Why didn't the ex-president or other president do that? But he came out and he took it and he took the daggers for it because we are overexposing ourselves, and he said this must stop. Well, at the end of the day, when it stops, next year or the year after, you will now see the relief. We are owing too much. And everybody is a stakeholder in Nigeria. If you cannot believe in your leader, the country cannot go forward.
Corruption has eaten so deep into our skin, like a cancer worm, that there is the need for us to think out of the box and fight corruption to its needs, because corruption has constituted a cog in the wheel of our developmental aspirations to the extent of retarding our developmental objectives and bringing succor to the lives of Nigerians.
As Nigeria commemorates her 63rd anniversary with the theme Renewed Hope for Unity and Prosperity, Nigerians have been urged to be more patriotic and good ambassadors of their country, home and abroad. In light of current realities, Nigerians have also been urged to be patient with the current administration's reforms aimed at revamping the country's ailing sectors.
We have to be a bit patient, you know. And the current thing that happens in Nigeria, which we should all ask ourselves, we don't compare ourselves to other nations. We are not patriotic. You make money or you steal money or whatever, you take it abroad. So how patriotic are you? The other day I had a conversation with some people. I went to a restaurant to eat. And I said, I put 20,000 naira down. And I asked the staff, anybody that can sing the national anthem will get that 20,000. There was 8 of them. It was sad. They could not even sing it. So when you're looking at it, Nigeria as a whole needs national reorientation. We have to reset our mind and our mindset. We are law-abiding when we're out of Nigeria, so why can't we be law-abiding when we're in Nigeria?
I see in 63 years Nigeria sitting side by side with Singapore, the middle-income countries, and I see Nigeria producing its own locally homemade goods, competing globally in the world. Petroleum refinery will work. Other countries will buy our own refined products. And apart from large companies like Dangote, even medium-scale countries too, Nigeria should focus more on producing its own goods and exporting to the world.
Irrespective of your culture, tribe, religion, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has emerged as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We need to put our differences behind ourselves and pray for him to succeed.
From Abubakar Tafawa Balewa's government in 1960 to the current government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria has had cause to rejoice as well as endured several challenges. Leaders have, however, been urged to rebuild the lost trust, confidence, and loyalty of Nigerians. Nigerians must also look beyond ethnicity, political and religious diversities, and focus on fixing the country towards taking it to greater heights.
Thank you, Abdulsalam. Moving on now, the next report by Thomas Ogbetere is interrogating efforts by successive governments, policies and programs targeted at turning the tide for better for Nigerians. Indeed, Thomas in this quest also saw how Nigerians have been keeping hope alive, talking about the resilience and ingenuity of the Nigerian people. As Nigeria looks towards a prosperous future, how can the country address identifiable challenges and work towards a more powerful and united nation? Thomas, please share all the details with us.
Nigeria got her independence 63 years ago, no doubt. Nigeria is a unique and a great country with good people. It is heterogeneous in nature, with cultural diversity. The people are described across the globe as hardworking and resilient. Experts who spoke on efforts by successive government policies and programs targeted at turning the tide of Nigeria, the largest African country, are of the opinion that the resilience and ingenuity of the average Nigerian can only be sustained and improved upon if successive governments embrace continuity, build the right infrastructure, as well as create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive.
There are so many policies that I think were crafted by our leaders in order to develop the country, in order to create unity and cohesion in the country, and then the sense of purpose, for development. One of the things I would tell you is this policy of National Development Plan, which before you sit down, you plan how you develop in the next 5 years. We used to have it before, and especially in the first 10, 15 years, of Nigerian nationhood, we used to have that. And follows that strictly. And that brought a lot of things in terms of development in this country, like our old universities, our policies in science and technology, policies essentially created, and crafted for the development and the unity of this country.
Sometimes people will say, if you're a commission project, they say you are not the one that awarded the project and all that. That is the concept, that is the mentality of average Nigerian. They want to see you, some governors are destroying project of his predecessor because he's not the one that awarded the project. He doesn't have, it's taxpayers' money. The policies of completion of project is business of government for continuity. If we be able to have if we can have stability in government, that means we have imbibed the principle of continuity. Continue with the good program and policies of your predecessor and reflect on them. Then the bad policy program, you can discard them. But not totally destroying what your predecessor have put in place and begin to initiate new one when you know that you have 4 years tenure or possibly 8 year tenure. You can't build a country in 8 years.
Highlighting some of the field and areas that Nigerians have excelled and are still excelling, deploying their tenacity in different human endeavor in the past 63 years within and outside Nigeria. Experts stress the need for Nigerians to proactively embrace and pursue more of scientific and technologically driven economic policies as obtained in other climes that are renowned economic giants.
In the field of sports, that one we are kings in that line. But increasingly now, you look at it in area of science and medical sciences, Nigerians have been excelling more than any. They travel outside the country, they got all the support, they did very well. And you remember this Nigerian, I think, is it Akin, or what's his name, who did operation, of a child inside the mom's womb and then took it back, and then she delivered safely in the United States. And even in space science, there are so many Nigerians all over. And if you go to most of the countries, out of every African that excelling, or a human being excelling, including the Europeans, you will find 1 or 2 Nigerians and there. So I think it is not just one field. It's not just sport. It is in medical science, in aeronautic science, in so many other sciences. Is it in culture? Is it in arts? In music?
Nigeria, like I said earlier, are hard-working people. They only need a good policies and program from government for them to say. They don't need you to give them money. They need an enabling environment for them to try. They need electricity for them to go do their small-scale work. They need good road to transport their proceeds from farm to the marketplace. They need water to have access to clean water. These are basic amenities we think that government also need to at least tackle head-on so that it can be able. Nigerians are very hard-working people. I don't think there should be anybody to. The level of poverty in Nigeria, I don't think is caused by the individual, but though sometimes you find few individuals who are not serious in what they're doing, but majority of Nigerians are hard-working people, and if you give them an enabling environment, you will see that Nigeria will be a success.
We focus more on theory, no practical education. All the Institute of Technologies, all these things are only on the paper. We should go back to square one. Practical agriculture, practical education, focus. Everybody must not be a university graduate. If we are able to have a technician in some field, in some aspect, it will help to boost the economy of this country. And it's not everything we can import. Let us use what we have to create what we want. Most of the wood we have here are being exported, refined, and bring back to us. Why can't we now bring that things here? What I'm asking Mr. President to do, if he should be able to do stability of electricity in this country, Nigeria is good to go.
All hands must be on deck to make sure that those vices that have crept into Nigeria for reasons of laxity, I make bold to say so. Because if you say you're an immigration officer, you're a customs officer, what you are bothered about at the border is what gets to you and not what your duty is at that border post. That's why you see proliferation of arms. That's why you see all kinds of things happening. Go to Zamfara. Gold is being mined by the very privileged few. And cartels have been put in place. Who is saying that this cannot be broken? I urge Mr. President to break this jinx.
Experts urge Nigerians to be patient and united as the future is bright. Experts say although Nigeria, like other nations of the world, has her share of challenges, they are optimistic that there are no insurmountable challenges. It is more so as government has resolved on building necessary infrastructure, tackle issues of security challenges so as to ensure the country is safe for foreign and local investment.
We need basic infrastructure. Infrastructure. You need infrastructural drive to be able to drive the economy, because the economy cannot grow without basic infrastructure. And that is why we say that government, what the Nigeria need is enabling environment. And that enabling environment has to do with the government. Government does not create, government does not employ. Sometimes a lot of people say, it sounds funny when a governor or maybe a president say, I want to create 10 million jobs, 20 million jobs. All you need to create jobs is to give the basic infrastructure.
We are creative, we're entrepreneur. Why can't we create our small-scale industry and be manufacturing it? But all things we are blaming is government. Everything is not about government. There is no company in America that is owned by government. There is no hotel in Germany owned by government. There is no manufacturing company owned by government. Everything is owned by private individual. What do we need to do? We are good in agriculture. Why can't we focus in agriculture and do the needful? Export the food and get the dollar.
Virtually everything was being turned into either my state, my region, or my religion. I just hope and pray that we'll come out of that very deep valley that Nigeria has been thrown into. You didn't see anything like love anymore. Value for humanity, a human life was gone. You go around the country, all you see is cultism. You go around the country, all you see is all kinds of crime, drugs. We no longer have those values that Nigerians and Nigeria was known for.
They applauded the efforts of government working towards revamping the Nigerian iron and steel industry, reiterating the need for government to harness the strengths, the multicultural and heterogeneous diversity of the country's abundant natural and human resources. Tapping the untapped natural resources in all the states they opined must be prioritized and deepened.
It's a very good perception. It's a very good crafted policy to do that, to develop our steel industry and all that. But you can see up to now, this is about 40 years. We are still dragging this thing. We have not finished. Every regime that comes wants to do something. But I think, the last regime tried to see how they can rejuvenate that very thing. And I think the current regime, our President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, has already taking this very seriously. Already appointed a minister specifically for this, for steel development. And I think from what is on ground, definitely things better will come up.
Acknowledging that there are still economic challenges faced by Nigeria at 63, particularly occasioned by the recent removal of the fuel subsidy and the impact of global economic downturn. Experts are emphatic that government is working to mitigate these identified challenges. They appeal to Nigerians to cooperate with the government in its efforts to deliver the renewed hope agenda and all its electoral promises for a better Nigeria.
The resilience and indomitable Nigerian spirit has continued to work despite challenges. Nigeria has made significant progress in various sectors, including Nollywood, which is the second largest film industry in the world. The country has also earned recognition for its management of various crises, including global health pandemics. Permit me to join all Nigerians in saying we're not just waxing stronger, but good to go in planting our footprints as leaders in the Committee of Nations. Let's not forget that to get there, we all must start by being more patriotic, irrespective of our differences, and stand united. Thanks for keeping the date. I'm Lydia Samson.